Hey guys, what's going on? FYMyPon here, and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Since we last left off, if I do recall correctly, we have been going around helping Finian, well, quote-unquote helping Finian. We also did some other things here and there, mainly just side things like investigating various areas, getting a special key for the immutable prison. And now, for today, we are going to be going into the boat, and we are going to finish off the final part of the... I want to say that ship thing that we've been doing for, like, the past few chapters. So we're going to be doing that. And then we are going to continue on and try to go to the immutable prison to try and, quote-unquote, save the Archangel. But I digress. Without further ado, let's get into things and see what happens. But yeah, we've got quite a bit to do, I suspect, so yeah, let's get going and see what we have to do, I guess. Alright. Before we go anywhere, I'd like to do one thing in particular, though. As you may know, we have a lot of spells that we gotta cover. So what I'd like to do before we go any further is first deal with the negative levels that we currently are suffering from, and then we'll go from there. So let's see, what can we do here? We're going to... Yeah, first we need to remove the negative levels, because that's a given. And once I'm done removing the negative levels, I can go from there. We're going to use Greater Restoration to get rid of any negative levels we might be suffering from, naturally. Given it is such a useful spell. I would give it to the Skeleton and Bismuth, but they're dead, so... Kinda... I think we can leave them be for a while, so that should be fine. But anyways... We should be fine, because we've got so much stuff that we can sell and, you know, get organized with, and it's not that big a deal, to be honest. Alchemist shirt. We should probably change the alchemist shirt to something else, shouldn't we? I'm just not sure what we would change it into, because there isn't really much we would be using, I think. Spellbreaker, let's see. No, we should be good. I think we got everything we want, so yeah, we'll leave that alone. We do have some very nice, interesting buffer items here and there that we could use. So that's not a bad thing. Okay. We could probably swap out the necklace thing here, but let's go by type in descending order here, just so we got just so we can organize things appropriately. I do think we do need to swap out the bracers of dominance, because the will save to be unable to attack is kind of getting useless now, I think. We can't swap it for anything that would be useful right now, but we could try at some point to do so. Alternatively, there's things like Wind's Breath that we can grab. Amulet of Natural Armor plus 6 is tempting, but not required for us to be good. But yeah, there's a lot of things that will help us get stronger, but for now, the biggest thing I want to focus on actually was spells. So I'm going to start by doing that. Okay, so aligned weapon, we only need 6 people to effectively have this. We're going to get fine traps, though. We've already got the Shields of Faith. We only need... We can go away with 1 less, so that's fine. So that is an option we can take. As for what? I do know Skeletor does not need it because he already has a deflection bonus, so it's not like he needs it. Remove Fear is tempting, but Skeletor already has that covered, so we don't need to use that again. I could still use Shield of Faith. It's not like it's stopping me from doing so. Unbreakable Heart would be tempting, but we only got cast levels of 17, so we need to at least keep it minute levels, or a minute a level or lower. Well, a minute or level, at least. Protection from alignments. It is a resistance bonus, isn't it? But we've got cloaks that do that for us, don't we? Don't we? Yeah, most of us do, I think, so I don't really want to bother with that if I can help it. Besides, we've got other spells that would help us, I think, so we should be fine there. I should need Bless again. Entangle, honestly, not that great for us. I'll just keep the Shields of Faith. Maybe I could save it for later. Okay, but we keep these, I think. Alright. Fine traps, yep. Grace, we don't need. Okay, everything else should be fine. I could get aid. I could. It is a morale bonus to attack and saves, but it's not going to be that big. Okay, we got magical vestments if we really want them. There is prayer, which we shouldn't need. I think we keep that. One sec. Ooh, okay. Freedom movement is already applied to 2 characters, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We should only need 6 castings of freedom movement, so we're gonna keep the 3 on there. We've got 8 for life bubble, which is fitting. We've got an additional use of harm that we can use here if we so desire. We can also use things like Eagle's Splendor Mass. We could use Bear's Endurance Mass. There is options here. We've already got Cat's Grace, Bull's Strength, and Owl's Wisdom. Okay, so cats, bulls, owls, okay. So we got the bull and owl, but we do not have bear's endurance. And we don't have eagle's splendor here. So we're going to swap those out, I think. Just so we're hitting all marks. And for that, we don't actually need eagle's splendor anymore, I do believe. The only thing we lack, really, is Fox's Wisdom, I think. But that's not a big deal, to be honest. I should be fine without it. Blessing of Luck and Resolve. We already got the Mass, I believe, of this. Yeah, Blessing of Luck and Resolve Mass. Let's see. Okay, the only other thing we don't have is Blessing of Courage in Life. But it's not going to really do that much, so we'll leave it alone, I guess. And what else can we go with? There is plenty of options, it really just depends on us. Temporarily immune to poison. Any poison in its system or any poison which is exposed during spell's duration does not affect the subject until the duration has expired. I don't think that's going to help us here. But we can use inflict moderate wounds, worst case, if we can't figure out what we want here. So at the very least, we do have options for healing. Bone Shaker's tempting. I don't know. It really depends on us, doesn't it? I think delay poison's just better here. Make somebody immune to poison. Although then again, delay poison communal is something we already have, so... yeah, we're already immune to poison, as it were. Alright, I guess we're just gonna go with the most simple option and go with aid. It may not be the best option, but it is an option all the same. Okay. But yes, we got Eagle's Splendor, Bear's Endurance, so that's a +4 to most stats that we have. So that's going to be nice. Okay. We can't use Eagle's Soul, unfortunately, otherwise I would have used it, because Eagle's Soul is a very powerful ability that we could use as a single unit, if we do it right. Because we could play a very, very powerful shapeshifter, I bet. And it would work really well. Let's see. Yeah, there's not really much that we can do here. I would love to cast some things, but... we only have so many spell slots, to be honest, so... we can only do so much here. Okay. Got a few things that we can do here, but nothing that's going to affect us much. Circle of Clarity is only good if we can target a specific area. Bestow Grace of the Champion can only work on a lawful good character, so no. I think I'm good with what we got currently. Yeah, we'll stick with that. We have 3 castings of Holy Aura if we ever want to use it. There is also the alternative of Storm Bolts, which will stun targets if we need to. Shield of Law. No, not that great. We'll keep to that, and I guess we keep to this. It's not like I need the other spells, as far as I'm aware. Mind Blank is something we keep. We keep the Winds of Vengeance, because that's a good buff spell. Energy Drain is going to be obvious for when we deal with bosses. Heal Mass, while it is not, Inflict Mass is tempting. Overwhelming Presence. Very tempting, if done right. But it's a mind-affecting compulsion, which is really hard to apply, so probably not. Now for Beastman. Alright, we keep to the bark skin maneuver. We keep to these, because I'm satisfied with that. Okay, so we only need actually one casting of legendary proportions, so we don't actually need multiple, I do believe. So we can go with other options. Because at the very least I do know that, yeah, Beastman uses Frightful Aspect. I know... Yeah, so Triclops is the only one who uses Legendary Proportions in their abilities. The alternative is I use Animal Growth, which is going to be specifically used for Bismuth, which can work. So we can give Bismuth Animal Growth. We can give Triclops the Ancient Growth. But that's about it, because we can't actually buff our undead with this very potent Legendary Proportions ability. So that's the problem. We can't actually buff our allies with that, which sucks. If I could, I would use Frightful Aspect in that case, but we don't even got that luxury, I don't think, so... We should only need one castings of Legendary Proportions at any instance. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on Creeping Doom, I think. And get Beastman with the ability to use Creeping Doom to summon some spiders. If, in the off chance we ever need to. It's a bit of a weird one, but could be worse. Alright, to that end, we've got everything else there. Triclops is already prepared caster, so he's got everything he needs for this. Oh, right, Alchemist, right. Alchemists, we're just gonna go with 4 castings of shield. Because I'm honestly not sure. We'll get 1 Expeditious Retreat, I suppose. Given it's a minute a level. But the caster level is only going to be 3, so it's not like it's going to trigger off, so... We'll get the shields, mainly because it's going to increase our AC by 4, especially when they're not wearing a shield, so... All the better to have it. Alchemist, yep, 4 castings of shield. There we go. Trapjaw has 1 level of Alchemist. We are not actually going to give him a shield because he technically has a shield in par due to his armor, I think. So we're just going to give him True Strike, actually, which is going to make his hits even more deadly, I do believe. Alright, as for Mage Armor, I believe the only people who can benefit from Mage Armor currently are Bismuth, Beastman, herself, and Skeletor, so we only need 4 castings of it, I do believe, and then we should be good. So we're going to get 4 castings set, because we don't need more than that. We keep Find Traps, we keep the buffs there we go. Okay, so we got Delay Poison Tribunal, we got Remove Curse, we can get 1 more spell if we so desire. I think Remove Curse would be the best choice. Yeah, let's get another Remove Curse just in case. Because you never know what we're going to run into. Death Ward, honestly, I'm going to get 8 castings. Just so I can cast it on everybody. Might as well just be safe than sorry. You never know if, this counts for all magical death effects, which does not cover skeletons. Or, undead, rather. So, the second part of this Death Ward spell is actually really beneficial to us, I do believe. But if it's not, then I guess that's just bugger me, I guess, right? But yeah, we'll just boost that up. We've got these. We don't really need to focus too heavily on that. We've already got 8 heroisms of greater variety, so we don't need to change that. We could remove petrification. We could get some raised dead if we so desire. Here we go. More, higher quality spells. Let's see. We do need Ice Body, obviously, because that's just a good spell to have. We could go with Mind Fog and get a persistent selective spell, which will reduce everybody by, a certain amount, so we're going to grab that. There is Plague Storm as an option. Like Legendary Proportions, like I said, it only is going to affect living targets, so not so good on anybody else. We can do a bunch of harm spells, though. And I think I'm going to go with Bestow Curse Greater, just to see if we get lucky there. Alright, to 8th level, we've got Predictions of Failure, we've got Summon spells, a number of other things. We're going to use a... We're going to get 2 Rifts of Ruin, and we're probably going to do 4 Predictions of Failure. Just because I believe it's going to be useful. I could use a Polar Ray in the off chance I ever need it, but I'm not too hard-pressed on that. Instead, I could actually use Foresight here in abundance. And give it to our 6 melee users, actually. So that's a good way to utilize it, I suppose. The alternative is I get Polar Midnight in some cases. But I think +2 AC and Reflex to all melee units wouldn't be a bad idea. As for Alchemist, naturally we just got everything, so honestly it's just as easy as going with... I think I can get away with an enlarged person, but nah, we're just gonna go shields. Nice juicy amount of shields never hurt. Call it a precaution if we ever run into a boss, I guess. And now for Skeletor. Let's see, he has a bunch of stuff already, but most of it's prepared, or spontaneous, as it were. So we don't need to do much changes here. There we go. Done and done. There we go. And once he hits Mythic 10, we should be fine. Alright, we go to the Murky Grotto now. Before that, though, let us see, army-wise, what are we doing? Hello. It seems an army of 8th tier quality is trying to rush us. Let's see. Okay, the Advanced Squadron. Nice, you're doing good work. I think we can just teleport them, honestly, and start organizing our armies to get beefier. We are going to have you guys warp here. And, yeah. Pursue. They were not ready for the teleportation. Not ready at all. Alright, Alright, let's use Elemental Weapon and Elemental Weapon on the zombies here. Let's have them attack. Not going to be a large group, but that's fine. We are going to deal with the Drekni here first. Then we can deal with the Vrox. Bop bop. Done. Stood no chance. Alrighty tighty. Nice. And from there, honestly, we could just start organizing our armies to get into position. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to get Defensive Squadron 2 here. We're going to move them back to Tyrant's Keep, specifically. And we're going to start sending out all of our troops to start organizing a... Well, organizing the squadrons, really. Got so many armies that, we really should be organizing. So we're going to get everybody focused into Tyrant's Keep to start with, to reorganize. And honestly, I might just meet them up in the middle here. So that way we can start organizing everything. Okay. Here we go. Off we go. Yeah, this is going to be quite the army surplus here, but whatever. Okay. In fact, I could probably organize my own army in of itself by doing this, couldn't I? We still need 5 days before we can get the Animate army set up. Okay. First, we're going to get you. We are going to assign a general. We're going to assign Chief Agaboya here. So that way we got 5 more units to work with. Let's see. We are going to assign the... We're going to assign bandits here for more range. And then we are going to assign... I think we assigned slingers? Slingers are pretty weak, though. Church guards would have spells, wouldn't they? They have Dispel. Hour of Onslaught. All allied units within a radius of 2 squares gain 3 bonus to attack for 1 round. Tempting, not required. We're gonna go with Hedge Knights, I think. Hedge Knights sound nice. Okay. I'm going to rename their squadron. Alright, there we go. There we go. And it's looking nice and red, so yeah. There we go. If done right, you can rename it like that. So... There we go. There we go. And we could probably assign a different unit entirely here, couldn't we? Hold on. If we go into here, we can assign a different general. We're going to assign Magister Pikewell, I think. And we should be fine. There we go. And with that, we can now organize our units here. And we can just start piling people in, couldn't we? We could start putting the barbarians in, we can get the hardened veterans in. There we go. Then we can start getting the defensive squadron 3 sorted. Alright, there we go. There we go, Defense Squadron 3. And because of that, we can now merge this group with what group? Okay, we'll just take this group here. And we just need another advanced squadron here, so we're gonna assign we're gonna recruit a new general, I think. We're gonna go with, honestly, we can go for a hunter, I think, here, couldn't we? Yeah, let's go for Evan Mist. Why not? Yep, there we go. And we are going to name this Advanced Squadron 4. There we go. Now we got 7 army sets. We can not recruit any more because we've already spent so much. But hey, 7 generals, 7 armies, that's not bad. I mean, heck, we've managed to get our forces to some level of competency, so I'd say we're doing well. We're gonna force Advanced Squadron 1 to be stationed over in Tyrant's Keep, I guess, for now, until we got everybody organized. In the meantime, we are going to go over to Murky Grotto here. And yeah, we're just gonna go from there. We're going to evade the traveling merchant, and now we organize our units to a degree. We're going to march this unit over here. There we go. Defense Squadron 1 is going to start organizing appropriately. Let's see. What's he good at? He's got 2 extra units, I believe, so that's good. It's just a matter of organizing things and making sure we got all the units that we want. We're going to take the bandits from here. We're going to take the hedge knights from here. We're going to take the shield bearers here. Honor guard. We should be fine. See, 91 for paladins. Cuirassiers are way stronger, though. Headhunters, eh. Alright, we should be good there. And we're going to get Defensive Squadron 1 over in the lands of Yath Watch. Defense Squadron 2 is going to start making its way over here. Going to take a bit, but that's fine. Alright. Nope. A bit too far. Okay. We want to go and help Defense Squadron 2. And we are going to start organizing them. Okay, there we go. What do we need here? Okay. We are going to get the church guard here. We're going to swap out this champion here for a... Let's go for the paladins. There we go. Now, would I prefer slingers with low HP? But, now we're going to keep what we got here. And we'll go from there. Alright, well that's it. That's that. It's not the most perfect thing, but whatever. We're trying our best here. As for Defensive Squadron 3, we are going to yoink some units here to make our balance a bit better. Of course, Advanced Squadron 3 is going to get the short end of the stick, I think. But it's only because we need stronger units here, so... There we go. Alright, that'll have to do then. Okay, Defense Squadron... Yeah, we're just gonna move everybody back now. We'll start organizing them once we get more units in each faction. Preferably, I'd like to get enough to be satisfied with it. Preferably, anywhere within the 10 range is going to be good, I think. But anything at 6 might actually be better, so, yeah. We're going to try our best to get as many units as we can here, so... For now, let's get the Advanced Squadron here to the center. And we're going to get them over by the last defense. Or the last barrier, as it were. Alright. Now we go to the Murky Grotto. Before we go in, though, we are going to check the Crusade to see if there's anything that has changed, such as decrees or whatnot, that we want to implement before we go in. Hunting down mutiny, no. Relics are fine. Alright. Pretty good, pretty good. Let us enter the Murky Grotto. Let us get our energy back once we, you know, get everything ready, and we should be good. Okay, we're going to be a bit slow, but that's to be expected given the circumstances. Alright. We want everybody to post up here. And we'll use this as an opportunity to go into the ship, because we're going to be sleeping on the ship, most likely. At least temporarily. And we're going to be using that as our means of getting forward. But we'll see. We'll see how far we get with it. We'll talk with the chaplain to sell some stuff before we go. So, yeah. Show me what magic equipment you have. Price in descending order. Okay, so he's got a bag of holding large. We're immediately taking that, because that just reduces weight for us. We've got +6 belts of very potent ability. Nothing too crazy, but still, it's +5 across the board here for most gear items. Especially, never mind the +6s that we're gonna potentially have available to us, which we aren't gonna be taking. We just know that they're there. +5 full plates, there's +5 amulets. We do need timely assistance, though. There is the lizard tail. It's tempting, but we're fine. We should be good, honestly, I think, so... We're just gonna take all that. Okay. Let's go price in descending order, as we usually do. Okay, throwing axes, longsword, great axe, cold iron. Okay. Wicked longbow is probably too bad to use. Okay. Keep the guardian battle axe, I guess. Although, honestly, I'm tempted to just ditch it at this point. I'll keep it for now. I can't really think of any reason not to, so... Or not to ditch it, so... 2 Delamere bows. How did this duplicate? I have no idea, but it is there now, I guess. But I guess that's that. Okay, we'll sell this. Okay. I guess we'll keep that there. There we go. We'll sell some armor here, because we don't need all this. Okay. Sell all this. Keep that, I guess. Sell that. Okay. Evocation resilience. I think I'm probably gonna sell that, but you never know. Deal. There we go. Yeah, there's nothing really sticking out here, so we'll leave that alone. Yeah, most of it's +5, so yeah.
You're here again. How timely. Me jewel is still far off, but how I crave to reclaim it. Are you ready? Then onward we sail.
The chest on the deck claims to be the real Nihandri.
Of course it does.
The helmsman lets out a dry laugh.
It is the most energetic part of me. But alas, not the wisest one.
Alright. Show me what regular equipment you got. Price in descending order. Nothing really sticks out beyond that, so honestly I could just go without. We've already got the lockpicker kit +3, so we don't really need to focus on that. Show me what potions and scrolls you got before we go. Price in descending order, as expected. Okay, weapons, armor. Okay, rings. We don't really need those. Well, we could get a bunch of ingredients, but there's no real need to. Let's see. Naturally, I think Raised Dead is going to be good, so we're going to get 8 of those. 8 should be good. Waves of Fatigue is a save, I think. Oh, wait, hold on. It's affected by spell resistance, but, all living creatures in the areas is fatigued. Okay, so it's only, Yeah, so there's no save, but it does apply by a spell resistance, but it can trigger, basically. Interesting. Well, there's nothing really that I want to grab. I guess we could grab the potions, though. It is healing that we can use. Yeah, that's a bunch of healing, I think. Honestly, we don't need that many. We're good, I think. We're definitely grabbing the restoration, though, because that is always going to be useful. And it allows us to spam this if we ever do get fatigued or exhausted, I do believe, so might as well, right? Alright. Alright. Take me to the ship. Let's do this. Let's stop lollygagging and let's start killing. Alright. We have already prepared spells, so that's good. So all we gotta do, really, is rest up.
Battles await.
We are going to quickly rummage into our bag, and we are going to get the restorations of normal variety. There we go. And then we'll use this here, which should be around here. There it is. There we go. Now we can all get over across. We'll give this to Beastman as well, just so he's just going to run over, make our life a lot easier. Okay, apparently Beastman has it rough. Okay, we're gonna move over here. We're gonna make sure we can get rest, and then we should be good. We can always just heal before we continue on anyways, so that's good. We are just barely getting reaching for Corruption 1, so yeah. So that's a small concern, but nothing too crazy. Cheese crostata, we are going to change that to be a different one. Let's see, spicy pastry, no. Okay, we can get fast healing 1 with the skullberry pie. Blazing parfa's nice, but not really needed. Demon Slayer soup gets a bonus to attack, damage, all skills, and saving throws. Tempting. Lucky Hand Sandwich gets +5 to all skills for a day, while also lasts whether you have to pass a skill check or roll. You roll twice and choose the better result. Tempting, but not required. Eating sour grow broth provides you immunity to poison and disease for today. Restores all HP and removes all poison disease effects. Tempting, but not required. This is quite literally a +4 to all ability checks for a day, so that's nice. Let's see. Or +4 to all ability scores, I should say. That is a pretty decent ability. Is there anything else I could do just to see? Alright, I think it's a torn choice between the... What is it? It's not Monster Casserole, it is... the Conflagrant Taco. or the Demon Slayer soup. I'm gonna go Demon Slayer soup because we have multiple uses of it instead of the other one. Because at that point, what I can do is I could rest multiple times, and then I'll get Conflagrant Taco, and then Lucky Ham Sandwich to add to it. So we're probably going to do the Lucky Ham Sandwich later, but yeah. We're going to double down on this, I think. If we do attempt it anyways. Okay, I am certain I want to change the recipe, and I will begin resting with that in mind. Alright. Before we get into the buffs, we're going to talk with the Greedy Chest. See if he has anything for us. Show me what you have, Greedy Chest. Okay. There is some interesting things here, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, there's nothing really too amazing here. Alright, well, I guess I'll leave it at that then. And we are just going to line up and get ready to buff. Because that is what we are meant to do. Alright. Let us begin. Four, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We want to align weapons as good. 3, 4, then Bismuth and Executioner. We'll do aid on Trapjaw here. Effortless Armor, Bark Skin, the Resists of All. 3, 4, and 5. Archon Aura. Alright, Magic Vestments of both type. Now protections from all types. There we go. Alright, freedom of movement triggers. Okay, Evelyn. Then Life Bubble. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's put this back. There we go. We get this. Okay, we're gonna do Blessing of Luck and Resolve for everybody. Angelic Aspect, Frightful Aspect, Winds of Vengeance, Mind Blank Communal, Eagle's Splendor, Bear's Endurance. There we go. And now we can continue on with this, I do believe. Alright, now we just buff up everybody with Remove Sickness and all that jazz, and we should be good. 5 and 6. There we go. Bismuth and Executioner. We'll move Merman over here. Okay, we do Magic Fang. Like so. And then Bismuth. Animal Aspect Gorilla. Alright, Echolocation. Freedom Movement. Here we go. Alright, let's go to this. We need to remove one of the freedom of movements for a different spell, I do believe. For the future, we are going to have... Well, we already got echolocation, so we don't need that again. What we're going to go with is... We already got Life Bubble in mass, so we don't need to do that again. Life Blast, tempting but not required. Cape of Wasps, tempting but again not required. A Flame Strike would actually be pretty decent, I think, for a just overall spell that we can use. It's simple, but effective. So to that end, we will get ready with that, I guess. We are going to use... Well, do we even want that? I don't know. Yeah, we'll just use Flame Strike. It's an easy choice. Alright, let's continue. Let's continue to buff. Alright, we are then going to use Animal Growth here. We are then going to follow up with Cat's Grace. Alright, Full Strength. Owl's Wisdom. Legendary Proportions. Sea Mantle. Frightful Aspect. We are then going to activate Mutagen Strength. We can activate Shield, but there's no need to. Instead, we're just going to activate the Black Dragon spell. There we go. Alright.
Adventures await.
We're going to cast Mage Armor on Triclops. We'll shield up. Expeditious Retreat. Mirror Image. Effortless Armor. Down a pot. And I guess we animal form here.
I'm losing my temper.
This is my path.
We're gonna down this potion with him. Evelyn is next. Okay, we then give... We've already got Triclops covered. We've got Beastman now. And then we deal with Bismuth here. Alright, Find Traps. We already got Remove Curse, so we don't need that again. Don't need Mutagen of Constitution, that's for sure. We don't need to do Mage Armor again. Not sure why it's being buggy and just swapping things around for us. It's being annoying. Okay, for third level, we want to replace that there. There we go. There we go. Now, Death Ward for everybody. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, Heroism comes in. Alright, 4, 5, 6. Alright, apparently, Okay, so we got that. We need to... I guess we'll put this in here. What else? I do believe we need something specific here. Yep, we need Heroic Invocation here. There we go. Alright, we're buffing up Bismuth now. And the Skeletal Executioner next. Ice Body. Foresight for everybody. There we go. Alright, now. Alright, Executioner now. Heroic Invocation. There we go. Alright. Contagion, and now we go for Skeletor. Alright, give everybody their usual buffs. We need to make sure everybody gets their nice juicy buffs here. Okay, everybody's getting this. Here we go. Alright, we're doing primary hands here. Executioner. Vampiric Blade, if we ever need it. Alright, deny death. Alright. The only people who are going to need this are the ones going into melee. There we go. Thought Sense, Bone Shield. Alright, False Grace. Blessing of Unlife for anybody who isn't a skeleton. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, Sea Mantle. Alright, Protection from Spells. Here we go. 5. Let's do a 6. Alright. There is a 9th. Right, there was a 9th level spell that I wanted. I wanted Fiery Body, I believe it was. Alright, I guess I put Fiery Body here, because I can't actually get Fiery Body any other way, so... Bugger it. There we go. Not sure how it became permanently extended, but whatever. Alright, Sense Vitals. Okay, we are going to be using Haste here. We need to use Displacement on Merman here specifically. Then we use Greater Invisibility on everybody else that isn't him. Okay. Three. Honestly, let's see. Who's better in the melee confrontation? Bismuth has a 61. Really, Triclops should be taking the lead here, given he has 69 AC. But for now, I guess we can let Bismuth take the brunt there, so we're gonna have Bismuth be displaced for now. And we'll go from there, I guess. That way I can focus on Eyes of the Badoc here. And have that for 24 hours. Okay, there we go. And we can have our Skeletal Executioner invisible. But from now on, what we're probably going to do is we're going to have Merman and Triclops be the visible parties here. For anything we need to worry about there. But anyways, Fiery Body is nice and good. We got the Firebrand ability, so we'll use that, of course. And we'll go from there. Done. Now everybody is as buffed as we can make them. And hopefully, we can use this to our advantage. As we slaughter what we can in the voyage. As you can see, there's very little left. We've only got this little area left. And this is probably going to be our last voyage with the ship. So, brace for that, I guess. Oh, geez. We're going to organize appropriately. I think this is good enough, yeah. Okay, we want you to be the center of attention there. There we go. Oh, right. Merman can't actually attack the animated breastplates, can he? Because undead are unaffected by it, as much as I want to admit. Well, at least the durations last for 24 hours, so the loot is going to be good all the same. Alright, well. That's something.
None shall escape.
Alright.
Just have to resort to brute force.
Zealous follower of Baphomet's gonna have some trouble. There we go. Oh, hello.
Die.
There we go. Slowly whittle them down. There we go. Hey. Violence. Alright, let's see. We got some stuff there, and nothing too crazy. Cool. Okay, what else we got? We've got random stuff here and there, nothing too crazy. Alright. Through the door.
Time to practice my combat abilities.
Alright, let us
I sense
go here. Okay, it appears we suffer some serious damage there. That's not fun, but whatever. We'll manage. Could be worse. Wail the Banshee is a powerful, potent spell, so all the better to be safe than sorry. Okay, we got a nice ring of protection here. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, our tank has lost all of his temp HP, but that's fine. I've kind of come to expect that. Okay, there's nothing really good there. That's fine. Okay.
there's something
Oh,
unusual.
hello. Let's disarm the trap first. There we go. Good thing we have our tank leading the way, so that's good.
The time for words has passed.
Alright. We send our unit over here.
So it comes to this. You
Oh, Succubus Enchanters causing trouble. Thankfully, we can just go in and just prevent that from being a problem. Yeah, you gotta be somewhat mindful of what you're engaging into. Otherwise, things just go awry really quickly. Oh well, at least we managed to do it and deal with it before it became a problem. Wait, what are you doing? Don't rush ahead. That's how you die.
You fall. I sense something.
Okay, everybody come forward. There we go. Pause it up so that way we can at least organize up to some degree. Alright, we got a horrid locust swarm. It's not going to be fun, but thankfully we should be fine because I do believe we can damage living here, and it should work. Oh, we've got multiple undertows here, huh? I think we could get away with a cone of cold here. Okay, Evelyn, move out of the way so we can actually deal with this. Okay, there we go. Alright, damage is coming in flush. There we go. Alright, violence. Okay, not a fan of the locust swarms, but hey, we are doing quite well. There we go. Okay, first and foremost, let's start by recovering everybody with Heal Undead. There we go. Alright, now we activate the False Grace here, once again, just to give everybody that buffer. Because obviously the temporary HP is going to be required here, for a number of reasons. Apparently there's a floating chest, which is nice, I guess. Bit of a weird one, but whatever. We cannot use spells in this dungeon, so we're going to abandon that, and we're going to swap over to a ranged bow here. Because it's the Arcane Undertow, so any spell that we try here is just going to be counteracting us. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna avoid casting spells here, so yeah. Just gonna take this advantage while we have it, and go from there. Okay, Cambion marksmen are gonna be annoying, but not impossible to deal with. I do believe because this is a supernatural ability, it's not counted as a spell, I do believe. So let me just confirm that though. Okay, whenever a creature casts an arcane spell. Okay, we are not casting arcane spells, we are casting supernatural abilities. So it doesn't count as an actual spell that's being triggered here. It's just a supernatural effect that's going in. There we go. Simple but effective. Okay. From here, we got some loot. Nice. Dragonkind blue and gold. Interesting. I mean, that's something. Okay, we'll grab that. Okay, gather everybody. There we go. Alright, our forces rush through here,
Time to practice
and violence is committed. Alright, the mythic rock assassin begins its escapades, or tries to, but perishes quickly, naturally. Alright, cool. Gather what we can, and we'll move on. So far, damage seems to be null and void to the majority, so that's good.
There's something unusual.
Alright, there is a trap there, so we need Triclops to go forward. Disable it. There we go. Everybody's still gathered. Perfect. This makes our job so much easier. Alright. Alright. Prasmuk, the walking reef, is going to be a problem. Oh, hello. Violent damage. Not fun.
I shall survive this ordeal.
Okay. Carefully.
Let's hear you cry.
Okay, violence. I am still on fighting defensively, jeez. Okay, let's heal ourselves then with Inflict. Because obviously we need to heal right now. Otherwise we're gonna perish. Or at least our tank is, which is not good. There we go. That should do it. Not experience I wanted to suffer through, but whatever. I guess we did win in the end, so whatever. Snakeskin. This +4 leather armor increases the wearer's base speed by 20 feet, granting them a +4 profane bonus to dexterity ability score, and immunity to acid damage. Interesting. So this technically would be a +4 leather armor, but it would also give a 2 dexterity bonus, which would increase your dexterity by some. But because it is a 6 max dexterity, you can only ever get... Well, if you wear this, then you're only hampering yourself more, I think. So it's not that great an armor, actually. It's actually quite bad, I think. At least in personal opinion. You can get way more armor if you spend the time to actually focus on it, but I digress. I digress. Okay. Well. I mean, that's one island. We still got much more voyage to go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still got 6 islands left. So naturally, it's going to take some time to actually get there, as you can probably imagine. One thing at a time, though. Oh, hi. Okay, so we got an aquatic elemental undertow, which means we've got elemental pillars striking through like crazy. We need to focus on the aquatic pillar first. There we go. Now we can focus on everything else. Because now it won't be causing us trouble. Thankfully, because the undertow is now gone, we can now focus on touch spells as intended. And go back to our usual standard of attacking. There we go. We'll gather everything we can here. But thankfully, we just had to deal with the casters there. That's all. Alright. Let's see. I would go higher level if I could, but unfortunately the luxury there is not possible, I don't think. Not unless we get really special with it. Oof, right. Can't actually heal there. I can only use harm spells to heal. Which is a pain, but I mean, that's just how it is, right? Okay, all the same though, we should be able to use just inflict spells just to cover the base. There we go. Done. We can go through the tower here, I guess. Okay, here we go.
So it comes to this.
Alright. Violence. The mass amount of sneak attacks, though. Oh, God. Oh, the Merilith got hurt, so that's fine. The Merilith is a summon, so I can tolerate if they get, whacked up a few times. After all, they're fodder, meant to be hit. Okay, we got some potions of heroism greater. We got a corrosive thundering gnome hooked hammer. Pretty nice. Oh, hello. Well, rip. Thankfully, immune to Soul Reaver because of, what is it, Death Ward? Yeah, I believe it was Death Ward that protected us there. Okay, there we go. Okay. We'll move in, Evelyn, do the same. There we go. Nice. Violence. Well, they can't do anything to me, so yeah, that's on them. Okay, we get this, which is banishment and weird spells. Pretty good, if I do say so myself. Alright. Off we go.
There's something unusual.
Okay, we're gonna march over to here.
You've made your choice.
Gonna get you over here, so that way we can immediately disable this trap before things go awry. There we go. Cool. Now we can focus on everything else that's coming in. We want to deal with the Shadow Caller mainly, because otherwise he's just going to keep summoning more spells, which is just going to make our life a living hell. But that is why we focus. We choose our focus. Okay, we can easily go south here if we so desired. Or we can go into the room here, which I think is the better option. Then, of course, there's the succubus here. Gonna move into the last room temporarily, just so we can organize properly. Like so. And then... Wait. Merman is indeed displaced. And he's even got blur, so that's good. Okay, there we go. Alright, an aerial pillar. We need to deal with you first before things go awry. There we go. Now we can focus on the Fiendish Elemental. There we go. Alright, let's organize up. Alright. Okay, a Neridian Shadowcaster. We're going to get Triclops to attack the Shadowcaster here. There we go. Now he can't cast spells. I'm not too worried about the Deadeye. They're just accurate more than anything, so... Really, it's just a matter of seeing whether I can hit or not there. But, we should be fine. Alright. Anything worth grabbing? Just a bunch of loot, I guess. Nothing too crazy. We're getting a ton of Meriliths, though, I find. Which isn't a bad thing. It just means we got more summons that we can rely on, which is good. Well, more minions that will come with us, more like. Okay, let's see. We should be able to move on here.
Time to practice
Okay, we need to immediately deal with the aquatic pillar. Merman is going to immediately go here, just for this purpose. There we go. Aquatic pillar's gone. Now there's no summons that's going to be interrupting our engagement. There we go. Alright, nice. Alright, cool. Get some loot here and there. Not bad at all. Can't complain.
Onwards.
What are you guys doing? Come on. Here we go. Gather that. A holy heavy flail. Interesting. Okay. See, is there anything around here that we can grab? Oh, hello. +6 cloak of resistance, not bad.
I sense something.
Okay, well, we can't go through there. I mean, we can, but I think it might be better if I just take the long way around. We're gonna march our way back, and we're gonna try and get through this door instead. That way we can see what we handle here. Okay, another trap, but thankfully we can easily just guide our dragon here. There we go.
The time for words has passed.
Alright, Merman, take the lead here. There we go. Nice. I'm not too worried about the Cambion marksman, because of course he's gonna have to come in at me like that. Okay, there's a bit of loot here, but nothing too crazy. Okay, collect that. We've got a lot of Marilys now. It's starting to get crazy with the amount of minions we're getting here. It's interesting to say the least. Oh. Okay. We're gonna move back. Oh, the speed! The speed on this guy, jeez. Alright, everybody. Gather up, gather up. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get carefully carouse over. They are sneaking, so there is that. Okay, it's far into the distance here. Okay. There we go. Gonna start with the aerial pillar here. Naturally. There we go. Now they can't do much. As violence begins to spur. Or turn. Or whatever I'm gonna call it. I don't know. Salty feathers? What do you think you're doing? Yeah, taking your time, that's for sure. Jeez. Hello. I think the guy wasn't expecting us not to see him. Oh, hello. +3 speed quarterstaff, and this. As you pick it up, you sense an echo of an ancient memory.
Live honorably, dear lord. Today I'm giving you a second chance.
The deathly spell that was about to fly from the angel's hand dissipates.
I have heard... I heave an involuntary sigh of relief as I curse myself for the show of weakness. Defeated. Humiliated. She stands before me, beaming with blinding light. Me eyes fill with tears, but I cannot look away. Her snow-white wings, her long neck, the curves of her shoulders and hips. She is beautiful. More beautiful than all the treasures of the abyss. There's no anger in her face, no hatred, no superiority. She's looking at me, peering into me very soul. Feel naked before her. Farewell, Nihandri. She vanishes in a flash of light. I reach out my hand, trying to catch her, hold her, stop her from leaving me, but she still leaves. I'm left alone, and only a white feather torn from her wing by my desperate hand is proof of her existence. Defeated, humiliated, but unbroken, I clutch the feather tightly in my fist.
Well then. Interesting. More lore. More lore hidden among the Nihandrian lad. A story yet unfolded. Got a maximized meta magic rod, nice. Got some worms and whatnot. Sounds so bad, but it's true. We got elder worms specifically, but yeah. Okay, let's keep going. No reason to stick around longer than we have to, after all. Alright. To the next voyage we go. No need to hesitate.
Let's just rush forward.
More violence, as is to be expected. Alright. Oh dear. Let's see. Okay, we got wild magic undertow. Laws of magic on this island are peculiar. Every time you cast a spell, they must make a concentration check. On a failed check, the spell is wasted, but another random spell is cast in the same target instead. Okay, interesting. And cadaverous undertow. All healing done with positive energy is reduced by 50%, but we are a necromancer, so this is only going to increase our abilities, I think. So yeah. We should be fine, I think, because we are basically a necromancer already. There we go. No matter what we come into, presence of, we should be fine. There we go. Alright, Nihandrian Shadowcasters are trying to get at us, but to no avail. Good. Got everything there. We can disarm this trap here if we so desire, which we will. And thankfully, the negative energy is good for us, so I'm not complaining. Seems like we got quite the cave, and the wild magic undertow is not going to be a issue for us, I think, because we don't usually cast spells in the area. The only person who's going to cast spells is Skeletor, and even then, I doubt it's going to be anything crazy, because it's 0th level spells, right? The power comes from the sneak attack, not anything else, really. Okay, there we go. Ah, the weird spell. Interesting. Doesn't stop us from dealing with you guys, though. And that is something that we gotta transform into. There we go. Time to get back into the gimmick of just grinding. Okay, what we got here? We got some more of that. Nothing too crazy. Oh, we got a nice treasure here. Amulet of Mighty Fist, tier 4. Pretty cool. Yeah, anti-magic undertow isn't really doing much against us, so... Okay, we want to back up here. Okay, we're gonna get Triclops here. There we go. Disarm it. There we go. Cool. Okay. Alright, yeah, let's keep going. Alright, a Shadow Executioner. Interesting. Yeah, they stand no chance. Their initiative is not ready to deal with us, apparently. Or at least they try to, but to no avail. Okay.
The time for words has passed.
Alright, we're gonna get over to the Shadowcaster here. There we go. Stand no chance. Not a 1. That's pretty good. We managed to get past them, so that's good enough for me. And of course, we're getting a ton of Mariliths now, because of the damage we're just outputting, casually. Alright, I guess we go through to here, and keep going. Because that's just how we roll.
There's something unusual.
Okay, let's see. Okay, the trap is actually... Or the set is here, so yeah, we just need this. There we go. And off we go. Should be nearby to whatever else we're trying to do. Got some zealous followers of Baphomet. There we go. Sirocco is attempted, but to no avail from them, at least. And we are fine. Because, yeah, we're doing really well there. They stand no chance against us.
I sense something.
Oh, hello. Okay, there we go. Alright, off we go. To violence. Alright, we're gonna have Beastman charge over to the Shadow Dancer here. Make his life hell. There we go. Summoner's gone. And now the rest follow suit. Because naturally they do. Alright, cool. Alright, apparently there's something in here. Okay, we get a Corrosive Flaming Battle Axe, a Tower Shield tier 5, some gold chain with our additions. Gather these, there we go. Anything around here? Nothing worth noting, at least. Anything down here? I don't think there is. Nope. Alright, we just took a side passage to get some extra loot. Never hurt anybody to do, that's for sure. Okay, off we go to the last bit here. And we should have done the next island.
Time to practice my
Oh, an Ecor Harrower. There we go. Alright. Violence. Oh, a Nightmare Lich is causing us trouble this time. Interesting. Well, that's interesting. Hopefully, it didn't dispel anything. If it did, then that's gonna suck really badly. Ah, well. If it happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. I think it didn't, but we'll have to see. Let's see. Displacement and blur, both are the more important parts, so yeah. We should be good.
The time for words
Oh,
is
Shipbreaker and a Executioner. Okay, hold on. An Undead Dragon. Lovely. Okay, so fire, acid, okay, so it's undead, so we won't be able to use our necromancy-based things, so we're gonna have to turn the... not Withering Life, but... oh wait, hold on. I haven't activated Death of Elements yet, so I've actually been using sneak attacks quite often. Okay, alright, bugger it. I guess that's something that's been going on. Selective, would work here. And let's see, it is a difficulty 34 as a fortitude save. Nah, we should be fine. Reflex half would be a better one, so we're gonna go Fireball here. Why not? Or I could use Obsidian Flow. Yeah. Let's do a Obsidian Flow here. Oh, 1 second. There we go. Ow! Ow! Wail the Banshee, not fun. Okay. Ow! Okay. That's pain. Alright, heal ourselves. Alright, no, Evelyn. Okay, we're gonna use Evelyn to heal then. No, I said heal. Stop! You know what? Fine. Fine. Done. It's done. It's over with. Now we can heal him. There we go. Good gravy. At least we got him dealt with, and apparently Shipbreaker has a scythe. Okay, so Amulet of Mighty Fist tier 5, Braces of Armor 7, and we got the Bone Snatcher. Whenever this +5 speed scythe hits a non-incorporeal enemy, it deals 2d6 additional precision damage. There's also the Greatsword, and it's not that great a scythe, to be honest, I personally think. It could be better. It could be much, much better. But I digress. That's how the cookie crumbles, I guess. Get some loot here. Nice little agile hand axe, +4. Alright. Turn that off. Okay, we got a bit of a jar here. And I guess we keep going. Because there's nothing else beyond that, I think. What I will do, however, is heal everybody up. Oh, whoops. Damage living. We want to heal undead. There we go. We are going to activate False Grace here. Give everybody that buffer again. And off we go. To more ventures. I'd say we're doing pretty well. We're making fantastic time, I'd like to say. I am worried we're going to be facing something much more deadly coming on to the last part of the voyage over here. But we'll have to see. We're probably going to be... I don't know. I have no idea because I've not actually done this DLC before in my run-throughs of Wrath of the Righteous. So I haven't actually completed the run-through in any sort of capacity, so Really depends on us. Okay, it's affected by a magical undertow. All non-elemental creatures within the 30-foot range of the pillar become slowed as per the slow spell. Okay, but you also gain DR5 good. In addition, every time such a creature makes an attack or casts a spell, it must make a reflex save or fall prone. Lovely. Never mind a flying time undertow. That's not going to be fun. We get haste, but we already have haste, so it's a win-lose situation. We're going to be affected in a negative way, no matter what. Get you guys going. There we go. Alright, we're gonna be suffering some... We're gonna be suffering some negatives, but we should be fine, I think. Let's just hope the enemies aren't gonna be that deadly. Did I lose the barrier? Did I? Did I or did I not? I did, didn't I? Yep, I do not have the saving grace spell now. We're gonna give that to Merman just in case. I think it might be safe, or safer to do that just in case.
Knowledge is the key to victory.
Okay, let's move back. Alright. Ah, nuts. Okay, thankfully, Soul Reaver is something we're immune to, so not that bad. Kinda lucky with buffing everybody with the right abilities, didn't we? There we go. Alright, everybody's going nuts now. Okay, we're starting to suffer now. That's not good. Hopefully this doesn't mean that we're going to be in immense pain as we continue.
I sense something.
Okay, we're gonna get Triclops here. To disable this. Alright. Organize up.
I need to concentrate.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, yeah, Merman's gonna have some suffering negatives here. There should be a way to cure it, I think. Hold on. When this counter reaches 6, you become middle-aged, you become old, vulnerable, okay. These effects are removed once you leave the island. They can also be removed with a greater restoration spell. So if you really feel like you must, you can use the greater restoration. But for now, let's save, because we've been going pretty far with the final expedition. And I'm not sure how far we're gonna be able to last with just this alone. Okay. At the very least, I want to go as long as possible with it. Gonna focus on the other pillar. There we go. Now we're good. Alright. Succubus didn't even stand a chance. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, we get an agile, brilliant energy hand axe. Okay, lovely. That's gonna help us in the long run, I feel. Because brilliant energy is basically touch attack, naturally. You know, now that I think about it, I would be perfectly fine with a brilliant energy glaive. That would be one of the few things I abandon, or it would be one of the few things that I would be willing to use in exchange for the Soul Shear. Because while summoning things are nice, if we can go with touch attacks with a 43 to hit, that's going to be a lot of precision-based damage in such a short amount of time. Like, it's insane to think about levels of damage, I should say. Well, it's tempting to consider, at least. Something worth considering, I should say. Okay. I guess we go down here, then. Okay, I guess we go check this out here. Okay. Oh, 1 second. Okay, apologies, I'm now back. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to send Triclops over to deal with the Earthen Pillar. Because the sooner we deal with that, the better. Naturally. There we go. And the violence will follow suit. Oh, there is a Pompoy boy trying to get violent here. Okay, we're suffering a little bit, that's fine. We can easily just do a heal here. There we go. That should help us a little bit. And the violence continues. There we go. Alright. Alright, Sirocco is not a fun thing. But hey, there's that. Okay, we'll grab this. And you know what? I am going to take a small 5-minute break, because I should probably do something real quick. And yeah, I apologize, but I really need to do this, so give me... I will be back with you guys shortly, and we will continue on from there. See you guys in a minute. Okay, I am now back. Let's get back into things. Alright, so far we've been going really far. How is our flying time undertow going? We're currently at 16. So we are going to be permanently staggered once that hits 20, so I suspect we might have to use Greater Restoration before that triggers. Yeah, we're reaching Venerable. So while our casting stats are moving up, our abilities are gonna get slower and slower. Which is weird because we are undead already, so... yeah... not the best experience, to say the least. Okay. Gonna quickly go do this. And of course we get the color spray. Lovely. Not fun, but whatever. We'll just do what we can here. That's the best we can do. Alright. That was nice. That was really quick, actually. Yeah, we'll gather everything here. And let's see. Okay, there's nothing there. Alright, I think we're gonna run into a very dangerous enemy here, but I want to make sure first before I jump the gun. Gonna save here. And let's keep going. I think we can handle it, but I want to make sure. Okay. I think we can do this. Okay, we got the tortured skeletons. Yeah, nothing too crazy. So far, that is. I don't see anything that's going to hamper us. There is a lich, though. We should probably deal with that first. So we're going to get Triclops over there so that the lich is not going to cause us problems. There we go. Alright. Apparently, Skeletor is immune to staggered, so that's good. But we are venerable, well, beyond venerable now at this point, I think, so this is just gonna make our lives a little harder. But we should be fine. All the same, we should be good to just keep going. We're gonna save all the same, just to be safe. Because we are reaching that point where we should at least be somewhat weary. Because if I'm not mistaken... yep, we are 20 charges. We become permanently staggered. These effects are removed once we leave the island, though. Hello. I was right to save. For now, though, what we're going to do is we are going to just throw down a nice, juicy, negative eruption spell. Bada bing, bada boom. They're not about to have any fun times. Yep, there we go. The slow has stopped. The stagger is the only thing that's stopping us here. And he is suffering from immense damage, I think? Yep, he's only he's halfway through, but yeah. Asmazar the Sea Boiler. We could actually debuff him right now. Yeah, let's do that. If we debuff him, it's going to be an easier target, I think. So we're just going to quickly use Corrupt Magic and ruin his day. Okay, there we go. Not even a chance to stop us, as he just gets demolished. Nice. Alright, Amulet of Combat Awareness. The wearer of this amulet receives a +3 competence bonus on initiative and reflex saving throws. Cool. And a longsword is an unholy one. As you pick it up, you sense an echo of an ancient memory.
Mine. Now you belong to me alone. I have waited centuries for this moment. Weaved sorceries over your feather. Perceived the expanses of space in my attempts to find you. And at last, you have descended into the abyss once more. Into my own realm, just as before. The carefully prepared trap is snapped shut. Have you missed me, my dear? Or have you missed me, my dear?
The angel turns away, avoiding my gaze.
Uncontrolled, pure, sublime. Time has distorted her image in me mind's eye. And I'm absorbing it again, relishing her every feature. Now you will stay with me for eternity. I clasp the small lock-shaped pendant around her wrist, and hang the key around me neck. And here is me gift, to you. You cannot remove this pendant, or leave the abyss, or send word to the upper planes. Now you are dead to everyone. But do not fret. I will give you all that you wish. You will enjoy being mine. You don't have to do this, she whispers without looking up. I freeze in confusion. Of course I don't have to do this. But why wouldn't I?
Yep. An evil, evil man. But then again, that's Demon Lords in general for you, huh? But that is the DLC in a nutshell for the most part, really. You're just helping the guy, after all. Ooh, a mysterious statue that's going to heal us to full. We feel refreshed. Both fatigue and the abyssal corruption recede. And to that end, we get some nice buffs, I do believe. Not a fan of the profaneness, but hey. Wait, hold on. The spell acts as a harm spell, but all affected undead creatures gain a +2 to attack and damage rolls. Oh, right! Negative eruption's actually affecting that, isn't it? Oh god. Okay, so, everybody's getting a +2 attack and damage, I believe, because they're treated as undead. Oh god. I forgot how negative eruption works. Pretty nasty ability, if you don't know what you're doing with it. But hey, that is just a small boon as part of the healing that we've done. A small but hefty boon, no less. Alright, off to here we go.
And off to adventure we seek.
Alright, let's get going. We are now going into a dank dungeon of sorts. A simple but understandable one. Zombies and... Okay, interesting. Zombies and whatnot. Okay, we won't be able to affect zombies with the weapon that we have, but I mean, we can try. Okay, we're dealing with nightmare liches. Okay, that's not good. We do want Triclops to go over, because otherwise things are just going to go awry for him. There we go. There we go. Can't really have everybody being frozen on us, but then again, that's why freedom movement exists for us, because that's literally our saving grace against these paralysis effects. Which kind of makes sense. We probably are affected by one or two of those frosty abilities, I bet. Oh, cultists and ghosts. Well, they're not enemies of us, at least, so whatever. I guess we'll leave him be.
Time to practice my combat abilities.
Alright, Merman, take the helm here. There we go. Okay, a Nihandrian Shadowcaster. We're going to want to deal with him because cast magic, naturally. It's a problem. Oh, spells failed. Nice. Alright, cool. Okay, we get the treasure here. Getting some nice juicy gear, I would imagine. Nothing too crazy, though. I would say the battle here is actually more balanced than the actual game mode, to be honest. Because I've had to experience the game mode itself with the whole expansion here. It's not fun. Well, I would say it's fun, but there is, like, a lot you have to do, and it's not great. Putting it lightly. Okay, we need to deal with the shadow first, because naturally the shadow is going to be the most problematic here. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Let's gather everything here. What's in here? We've got a greater selective metamagic rod. It's alright. It's alright. Can't access that. Just yet, anyways. Okay. We got a prisoner here, apparently.
I sense
Oh, hello. Here we go.
none shall escape.
Okay, we're gonna get
You've
Merman
made your
there.
choice.
There we go. That'll have to do. Okay, they're trying their best to deal with us, but unfortunately that is just not going to work as they plan. What is the Undertows, anyways? Cadaverous and cannibalistic Undertows. Oh, okay, so this island inflicts a ton of disease. That's not gonna be fun. Mind you, we've been inflicted with worse, mind you, but
Keep your
not as bad as
wits about
this,
you.
I don't think. Not yet, anyways. Okay, we're gonna move it back here. Alright, we're gonna organize here.
The time for words has passed.
Alright, we're gonna go over here. Little Stalker's gonna come in. Causing a ruckus. There we go. Oh, they're gonna try and do that. We need to get you focused on the Nihandrian Stalker here. Because if the Nihandrian Shadow Caller comes out, then we can focus on everything else. There we go. Did suffer some, but that's fine. It's a price we have to pay. Okay, gather this. Now, if we do a quick heal here. There we go. That should be good enough. Don't need to go too overboard here. Alright, Belt of Physical Form. We can then go across here with these, I think.
There's something unusual.
Okay, if we slip past here, we can disarm this trap. Okay, a trap is triggered. That's fun. Not really, but whatever. It's already been done. Okay, well. Nihandri the Jailer. Interesting.
Nihandri the Jailer. May the darkness swallow you whole.
Alright, Agile Fists.
Curse you, Nihandri.
Yeah. People are not having a fun time in his prison of prison where he just keeps his knickknacks, I guess. Oh well. Not our... Oh. That is going to be a problem. Prison warden, huh? Okay. That's something. Let's cast shield here. Have we already cast it? We have, so now we just fight. Alright, Skeletor, you're fine. Let's just move you out of the way so you're avoiding getting the little chow. Oh, it seems like, well, rip that. Alright. We're gonna gather everything we can. I think we've already dealt with the jailer, so we don't actually need to, worry too much about the boss, I think, because we killed the boss.
An ancient key blackened by time. An emblem can be discerned on it. A gem coiled in chains.
Interesting. Is that perhaps something to do with the angel? Perhaps. Or is it to do with this guy here? Who knows? I have no idea. Nope. It might be used for later, so we're just gonna hold on to it, I guess. Oh well. Okay, temporary HP is still doing fine. Oh, we do have everything restored though, so we can't heal undead like this with ease. You know, maybe I should swap over to this. That way I can do even better. There we go. That'll have to do for now. Okay, we're gonna save here.
And off we go.
Something
Oh.
unusual.
I tire of waiting.
Let's go here. There we go. We can use Dragonkind here.
There's a wait.
Time to practice my combat abilities.
Ah well, let's just trigger it. Bugger it. It's not like it's gonna matter too much. We'll just commit to violence. It's fine. Oh, hello. Thanlius the Eyeless Deadeye. We get his +5 composite bow. He gets full plate. Off-road boots. Grants a... Okay, so... The wearer of these boots ignore the effects of difficult terrain. Whenever they step on difficult terrain, they gain a 10 bonus movement speed for 1 round. And they also grant the wearer a +4 enhancement bonus to dexterity. If we were not using a belt, I'd consider it.
As you pick it up, you sense an echo of an ancient memory. The angel flinches as I approach. The lock-shaped pendant on her wrist gently clinks as it collides with the other 3. The silken dress, one of me gifts, rusts quietly. The jeweled pin glints, half hidden under her gorgeous white locks. Drink with me, my dear. I've brought you wine all the way from Elysium. I offer her a goblet of wine, but she turns away. I take no offense. I drink in the sight of her. I am admiring her pristine beauty, which I, like a diligent gem cutter, have perfected by dressing her in the finest gowns, by adoring her with the finest jewelry. You don't have to be like this, she whispers. Afraid of ruining the sublimity of her image, I gently touch her hair. I suddenly realize that I still do not know her name. I'm going to call you me songbird. You brighten me palace, but your songs are repetitive, as the thrills of all birds are wont to be, such is your nature. She jerks her chin up, her gaze fixing on me. Her eyes are beautiful. So rarely does she raise them to look at me like that directly. I don't need your gifts, Nihandri. She tears the diadem from her head and throws it. The precious metal band bends, the diamonds scatter on the floor. Hear my words. I beg of you. I can sense the good in your soul. I believe you can rise above the abyss. You can be better. Her voice is so sweet. I'm smiling. I am happy. It's ominous, but understandable. Understandable. Seems the man was, infatuated with an angel. But, naturally, the angel's trying to sway him from a better purpose here. Oh, what's this? Secret. Okay, the secret gives us a Beacon of Innocence. This +2 Holy Evil Outsider Bane Cold Iron Longsword.
Okay. That is a very specific longsword, but understandably powerful. To give you an idea of how powerful it is, while it may be only a +2 weapon, if you attack an enemy of evil alignment, it deals 2d6. If you are targeting an evil outsider, it increases its bonus to +2 from +2 to +4. In addition to it, it's also Cold Iron, which is great against demons and fae. So yeah, that's a lot of bonuses tacked on to a blade like that. An interesting little trinket. Alright, well, we've basically got our spoils, and we're good to go. Let's leave the island and keep going. We've got 2 more places to go, I think. And then we are good. I guess we'll see how things play out. Because a lot of things are about to happen, I imagine. Before we do go, we are going to quickly give everybody a quick heal here. 2 should be good. There we go. Done. Now we continue our voyage. We have 1 more island, and then we go to what I assume is the prison of the angel that we're about to try and save, I think? It's hard to say what we're going to be doing, but we'll try. We will try. We'll have to see. It really depends. Okay. We move back into position. Alright, we've got a Wild Magic Undertow and an Arcane Undertow. So we won't be able to use our Arcane spell, Ray of Frost. But we can use our bow here at this point. It is a Feral Charge, Competent Speed, yeah. So we're going to be using that for this Undertow here. I do believe is the best option, that is. Alright, off we go. Let's see how we fare. Oh, there's a trap here. Might as well deal with that. Let's deal with the Evoker Minotaur. There we go. Violence. There we go. Okay. Nice. Hey, tainted sneak attacks triggering every now and again. Nice. It's good for us, though. That means we're just going to deal even more damage. To that end, I think I should probably activate death elements as well, just in case. You never know. Alright, the chief assassin here. You know what? Back off. Let's back off here. There we go. Nice. Okay, we're gonna move back. Triclops, we specifically want you to disarm the trap. There we go. That'll make our life easier. But yeah, no, we're gonna have to do kiting if we want to coax enemies into a particular position from now on, I feel. Or else we're just gonna have a rough time, I think. Okay, we're gonna get you over here. There we go. Yep, just remove your spells as you try. Nice, nice. We're really putting in work. Okay, we got a bunch of these. Okay. If we line up here, we can go through to here. Probably nothing too crazy around. Alright. Merman. Charge forward. Alright, another prison warden. Interesting. Oh, acid. Interesting. Wasn't expecting that, that's for sure. Oh well. Alright, that is another warden key. Maybe that's the keys for the angel. That might be it. It's cold. Dark. Dark and cold.
May I see your emperor?
Okay, Brolkai. Alright, nice. Hello. A secret. With a set of healing scrolls, a healing kit, and a headband of mental perfection. It's alright. Nothing too crazy, but still something. Yeah, we're seriously making some leeway, I think. At least I personally think so. Let's go into here.
I sense something.
Okay, so we're gonna go this way then. Go around.
To practice my combat
Hello.
abilities.
Zestral the Ender of Journeys. Okay. A pretty nasty jailer, but otherwise nothing too crazy. He is a pretty dangerous outsider, but it could be way worse, I think. We are going to use this chance... You know what? I think this is the one time I'm going to use, repurpose here, I think. Let's see, repurpose is a 4th level spell, isn't it? It is currently a 5th level spell, so... Let's use the normal repurpose, because that is a standard action. Come on. There we go. That should have affected him. Okay. And the rest shall follow suit. There we go. He's not going to have a fun time, that's for sure. Alright, there we go. Get his nice little items there. And yes, we can leave if we so desire. If we want to take the early route. That is, of course, not what I'm going to be doing. Rather, I want to take the time to actually investigate this area and see if there's anything of worth around that is hidden. Such as, you know, various loot bits here and there.
There's something unusual.
Ah, a trap. Okay. We'll disarm this immediately with Trap Jaw. There we go. The weird spells triggering, not fun. So that's fine. As they cast spells, we're only just making our life easier. Or he is making our life easier, rather. As we take those guys out. Alright, let's line up. We heal undead. Efficiently. There we go. Recovery complete. Okay, we're gonna gather some of this stuff here. Guess we open this. What's this? This is a speed light hammer. Okay. Okay, we unlock that. We get ourselves a ruby ring. Yeah, it's alright. Nothing too crazy. Anything else around here? Aside from, of course, the prisoners. Probably not. But hey, we'll see what we can do. Yeah, we're gonna deal with the Deep Shadow because they are casters, I believe. And the weird, while nice, is not fun to deal with in the long term. So yeah. Violence. Okay, we move over here. Let's gather this. Alright. Alright, what do we got here loot-wise? We've got some nunchucks. Axiomatic Ghost Touch nunchucks, no less. We can probably heal Bismuth at this point. He's still got the effects, so... might as well just use a harm spell to heal him up. There we go. Nothing too crazy. Just get the harm spell and these should be fine.
I need to concentrate.
After all, he is the only one damaged to that extent, after all. What we should probably also do is use another casting of False Grace, just in case. Just to get us the temporary barrier going. There we go. And we've basically done an entire loop around the dungeon. Nice. Alright, off we go. I don't think there's anything else around here that's worth noting, so yeah. The only other thing I can think of is if we can go down here, which we can't. So yeah. I guess we depart for the last bit of the dungeon that we've got to deal with. Of course, we're going to need to get ready, because obviously we're going to need to be full health for whatever's going to come our way, and we will need to have allies among allies to help us defend against whatever is going to come our way, but we'll see. We'll see. Every little bit counts as we go through this endeavor. Time for the final expedition. Let us do this. We got quite the journey ahead of us. But we'll see what comes our way. Alright. First and foremost, we move back like so. There we go. We are going to do some heal undead here, for the case of it. And I guess I'll do some cure lights here. Okay. Done. Alright, let's begin. Let's save here, because this is probably going to be the final fight we run into, but we'll see. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Let's just pray it's not a bad thing. So this is where the angel was, huh? Or at least, I think. It's hard to say. Oh, hello. That's a massive Nihandri crystal, that's for sure. Oh. Oh, geez. Hello. The Songbird. A level 20 outsider, level 20 fighter, two-handed. She doesn't have anything too crazy on her, but she does have a, an insane weapon. I think we can handle this, but she is hitting with a 52. So, yeah. She is a very, very, very deadly warrior. So, it would be wise not to, it'd be wise not to underestimate her power. So, to that end, I'm going to be using Icy Prison, I think, here. Just to make her go into an ice block to make her significantly weaker. The alternative is Racking Ray, but for now, I think the paralysis might help. I think. Immune to Petrified, but she is not immune to the paralyzed condition. So that would be a good start. And I'm going to swap over to this for this case. Okay. Okay. Oh, she's teleporting. Oh god, what's going on? Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. This has gotten worse, I think. Well. The songbird has finally been corrupted. And she's gotten much more deadly. Oh dear. Okay, so she's easily gonna break through that. Fortitude half. I think we need to use Racking Ray here. We're gonna have a frost thing. Oh god. Okay, we need to weaken her some by using the Racking Ray here. Okay. Okay, we have reduced her stats some. But I don't think that's gonna help, so we need to use, Wait, what's her... What has she buffed up? Is that... that is the question. No, but she does have Sea Invisibility, which is only making it worse. Okay, if we use this, we can affect her... We can affect her footing by using a difficulty 40. If we do that, then there's like a 60% chance she's going to be knocked prone, which I think is going to be a benefit to us, I think. I hope. Freedom movement. Is she immune to being knocked prone? She's immune to paralyzed, entangled. She's not immune to being knocked prone, I think. Yep, we can knock her prone. So me doing this is actually good. There we go. Oh, the songbird has turned into a deadly creature. Okay, down this. Okay. Oh dear, okay, her touch is horrible, though. So I think I can get away with Evelyn... we can't put her to sleep, because that's near impossible, but... what can we do? We can reduce her saves, but that's not really going to do much, I don't think. If we do Prediction of Failure here, that would reduce her chances of winning. Okay, units are having a rough time of it. Okay, we are going to Feeble Mind her butt. Which I think is a save, isn't it? Yeah, it's a save, so that's not going to work. Let's see. Hold on. Regardless, we can make her staggered for a round, so this is actually a good idea. Okay. Skeletor, back up. Okay, you're being just destroyed here. Okay, okay, there we go. Okay, Skeletor's getting really knocked down. Okay. Okay, we're gonna bring him back. Okay, there we go. Alright, oh boy, okay, yeah, no, I should probably buff. My bad. Ah, well. She's still having a rough time of it, it seems, so that's fine. Okay, we need to knock her down. Come on. Ah, seriously? Okay, there goes Evelyn. Oh, I've knocked her prone. Okay. Okay, we need to go as far as we possibly can here. There we go. Come on. Are you serious? Stop. Stop ruining. Ah, pain. I mean, she can try her best. Alright. Alright, well. As you can see, we're gonna have some issues there. But that is why we had saved beforehand, before we engaged, because now we know a little bit better on what we gotta do. But of course, we were going to need to prepare anyways, so... This was just bound to happen, honestly. This was just something inevitable. Alright, but in all seriousness, we are going to need to do some summoning, I think, because that is the biggest thing we have to cover, don't we? A Ravener Dragon for a minute is not going to be enough, I feel. What can we do here? Well, obviously, displacement for everybody is going to be necessary, given we are going to need to avoid her attacks like the plague. So we're immediately going to displace everybody, I think, in addition to the greater invisibility. Alright. Okay, we've already... There we go. Alright, we are then going to do the same for the... Well, we've already done it for, well, we've got the Executioner here. Now we just need to put the, Bismuth invisible. Okay, Bismuth, there we go. Make Bismuth invisible. Okay, I've already got Eyes to Bedok on, so that's fine. Okay, what else can we do here? We can... Well, I guess the smaller buffs is going to be needed, like, immediately, so... I guess what we need is we need to set up... I guess we set up Thorn Body, obviously. We also set up Holy Aura. Then we need to set up things like shield,
I'm up for an
because,
adventure.
well, having a shield is not a bad thing. Okay, so we're gonna use Holy Aura. Stolen Body. Gonna use shield here. Gonna set up Creeping Doom, I imagine. Okay, we are also gonna do shield here. Alright, we're gonna do mutagen,
Move? We
a
shall move.
shield. I've already got the shield for Skeletor, I believe. Yep, Bone Shield is already good.
Shake a leg.
Battles await. I need to concentrate.
Alright.
The road calls me. I'll take the road.
Alright, we get Skeletor. He needs his contagion. Alright, what else can we do? I don't think we can do much else, so yeah, I guess that's it. That's as much as we can do anyways. At least I hope. Let's see, what do we got that we can use here? Not a lot.
Let's move over.
I mean, I guess I could use True Strike here, just to get some serious hits in, but there shouldn't be any need for that, so we're gonna save here. And we're rushing in. Okay. To start off with, summons. Tons and tons of summons. Okay, we now use Animate Dead here. There we go. Oh! Okay, we can't speed through this, unfortunately, but that's fine. Alright, this is round 2. Obviously the most dangerous, but that's just how it goes. Alright. Alright. So, the biggest danger here is that we need to make sure we can knock her prone. So we need to get Skeletor out of there to at least prepare the ability. Okay, Skeletor, we want you to back off immediately. Oh. Okay. Okay, she's running around, that's fine. Okay, let her have her running moments. Oh, she's running in fear, that's fine. Oh, lovely. Okay, back up. We need her prone. Alright. Ah, nuts. Okay, so apparently she's not going to let that happen, apparently. Okay, lovely. Okay, that's not fun. Could you stop? Alright. Negative energy then, fine. Negative energy in the abundance. There we go. There we go. 300 damage. That works. That's fine by me. I can deal with that. Okay, Evelyn, I want you to I think I can get away with a Hoarfrost. It is a Fortitude, negates. But for her, it's a automatic success, so that's not going to do much for us. So the best we can do is reduce her AC, I think. Okay, come on. Okay. Skeletor, we want you immediately to back up and use another. Come on. I want you to spam this, preferably. There we go. This works. This works for me. Just have it on a spam. That's going to make it a lot easier for us. Alright, we'll summon this to make your life much harder. Ow! Why'd you do that, Skeletor? Stop! Oh god. Okay, this is a, this is probably a lose. This is probably a lose. Oh, no, it is not. I just barely get it. Oh, hello.
My songbird, what have you done? She is mine, body and soul. She was supposed to live, and now she's dying.
Who is she to you, this angel?
Silence! She is mine, and only I can decide her fate.
The angel looks up at the ghost, her eyes filled with sorrow. Her lips move silently, and with the last of her strength, she brings her hands to her heart, as if apologizing to him. Well then.
Let's move already.
Evelyn's dead,
Keep your
but
wits
I
about
think
you.
we can fix that. But, yeah, we did suffer some significant loss, but it could be worse. At the very least, one death out of the lots, better than anything that we could have hoped for. But, in turn for our efforts, we did manage to get a mutilated angel. This weapon is a +5 adamantine glaive. Whenever the wielder uses it to attack an evil creature, it grants a +5 to the attack roll, and it deals additionally 1d12 damage on hit. Whenever the weapon lands a hit, it inflicts a -1 penalty to AC until the end of combat. This stacks up to -5. The wielder takes a -3 penalty to their charisma ability score if they use this. It is a subpar ability, I'm going to admit. Not the best I would have hoped for, but hey. What can you do, huh? What can you do? As for abilities, the best we can do for Evelyn is just give her a quick mending with heal. And the best we can do beyond that is inflict serious wounds for everybody. Well, I would, but... yeah, you can only get so much. We're gonna do a, let's move Evelyn out of the range, because she's only gonna get hurt by this, but... pop. Everybody else should heal quite well with this. There we go.
Does anyone require
It'll have to do. But yeah, we managed to do that, so I guess it's a win? I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing, what we've done, but hey. We did what we could. And I guess we'll see what happened here. Beyond that point. Seems like somebody died in in this place as well, so, yeah. This isn't the best place for Nihandri to experience things, I guess. I don't know. It just feels empty. Oh well. But we've done it. I guess. Interesting. Interesting. Indeed. Alright, I guess the last thing to do is talk with, Helmsman, I suppose, right? Because I think we're, done with the voyage. Unless I'm mistaken.
The shade has grown bold, I see. Before it was too afraid to leave its chain, and now look at it now. Venturing out. No matter, it's beneath our notice. How strange it is the only thing left of Nihandri's mighty soul is its weakest, most miserable part. A tangled knot of regrets and disappointment. It vexes him that we are making him remember again and again how much was lost and how worthless he is. Let him whine all he wants. What matters is that both of us, he and I, have remembered where to look for my greatest of my jewels. And what that jewel is. He will guide you to untold riches. And as for me, I will have a new life. The goal of our voyage is now within our grasp. Come, come.
What sort of treasure are we looking for?
At first I thought I was looking for lost riches. But gold, gems, magical toys, they're all dust before the greatest jewel of all. Life. Now I know what it is that has been beckoning me all this time. Somewhere among these islands, me heart still lives. I'm bound to it with a guiding chain forged out of me deeds and memories. And I can sense it is now within reach. Very soon we'll find it. It'll become richer than any mortal has ever dreamt of becoming. And I will be restored to life at last. Is there any greater reward?
What is that horrific shadow that's bound to the ship's chain? What does it want?
How strange it is the only thing left in Nihandri's mighty soul is his... Okay.
Let's strike from the shadows.
Well, this is it. This is the final part. However, I do not think we have time for it this stream. So, what we're going to do here is I'm going to wrap it up here, because I have other stuff I need to be doing. But, next stream, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be completing this, and then we are going to be moving on to the next and probably most final thing that we have to do. But I digress. That is something for next time, and we are definitely going to need a rest because it's going to require every little ounce of energy we have in order to beat this potential danger. So yeah, first and foremost, let's go and quickly restore our health to our former glory. So we're going to get rid of these negative levels, naturally. But yeah, I am going to wrap it up here. If you like my content, you can support me on YouTube by liking, subscribing, commenting, and hitting the bell notification if you want to see more stuff. I stream daily, so if you want to catch my streams, you catch me 3-7 MST time on Twitch. If you want to support me on Twitch, the best way to do so is follow me. Or, follows are always appreciated. But you can really help me out by just simply watching the streams live. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I do believe you can get away with just watching passively while it's, you know, while you have your screen on, but it doesn't matter. As long as you guys are enjoying my content, that's all that matters to me. So, if you really want to support me, I would appreciate it. But I'm not going to force it. You guys do you. But yeah, I really do appreciate you guys coming on and watching my stuff, and I guess we'll wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I know I did. And I'll see you guys next stream. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.